Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to. We've seen some really weird team-ups on this show, haven't we? We've seen Michael Jordan team up with Bugs Bunny, Columbus teamed up with a woodworm, a dog teamed up with a dolphin, even Whoopi Goldberg teamed up with a dinosaur. But by far, the absolute worst team-up ever is Whoopi Goldberg and the dinosaur. But Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dennis Rodman come in a close second. This is Double Team.
Mary on the floor.
She's looking freak, but she's much more.
I mean, talk about a bizarre combo. Was there really a group of people out there who wanted to see these two together? Who was sitting around in their living room saying, "Gosh, you know what'd be great? World peace, no pollution, and that skittle-headed basketball player teamed up with the muscles from Brussels." Who the hell chose that?
Did you? My mind is totally blank. I didn't choose anything!
Well, whoever chose it, we got it. So, let's take a look at the team-up that nobody demanded. This is Double Team. So we start off with a quiet opening. For a monster truck rally. We see Van Damme playing a secret agent driving a truck full of plutonium out of the hands of the Iraqi terrorists. Huh, so that's where the weapons of mass destruction went.
That is so 2003.
We got explosions, gunfire, things getting crushed. I have to admit, it's actually a pretty good action scene. The only thing missing is, well, giving a crap. Van Damme hasn't said a line yet, so I don't really think there's any reason to care about him. Once he does say a line, then I'll know there's no reason to care about him. So, I can't wait to see what significance this has on the plot, or it was 100% pointless. 3 years later, that scene never gets mentioned again, so as usual, we're not supposed to give a Van Damme about it.
Aw, nobody gave me a wake-up call.
So it turns out Van Damme got married after that mission and is living happily with his pregnant wife. But then an old agent friend comes by and makes him an offer.
Stavros is back, and we want him alive.
And yes, this scene has been done so many times in other action movies, you can practically recite it word for word. So you know I'm retired. Come on, you're a hunter jack admit it. You missed the game. For me it's personal. You're the only guy who knows how he works, how he moves. This is your last shot. You know, I could forgive this movie if it came out in the 80s when everybody was doing this cliche, but this is 1997! Even Arnold was like, "Dude, that shit is old." In fact, it's so tired we don't even get a scene where he thinks it over or talks to his wife. The next cut is literally him just on the mission. I mean, I guess, really? Do you need a scene where he talks it over? You know he's just gonna say yes. It's like asking a comedian if he can do a Charlie Sheen joke. You had me at hello!
Move the seat up. It's a little tight in the rear.
But it turns out our bad guy, played by Mickey Rourke, after 9.5 weeks, but before Sin City, so tough times. He's holding a gun to the agent friend after he got Van Damme on the assignment.
By the way, I left you a present.
Oh! What? Did he just lock himself inside the car? What kind of dumbass agent is this? Oh yeah, he's not looking back at the explosion because he just assumes the guy got out of the car. What's to look back at? It's not like he'd be stupid enough to not know how to open a door. No wonder they need Van Damme back. Half these agents can't even get past child-proof safety devices. Cut to Antwerp where Van Damme enters into a cross-dressing bar. Why is it I get the feeling this is where we're gonna see Rodman? What a shock.
Who does your hair? Siegfried or Roy? Well, this has been fun.
It turns out Rodman is the weapons man that Van Damme is supposed to meet up with. Well, at least he doesn't dress, act, look, or hang out in any place that would be the least bit suspicious.
Who's that? Rudolph?
I may not have reindeers, but I do have the best elves in the business.
You know, I have to admit, this is weird even by Rodman standards. I mean, this is the first movie he's ever done. Did he really just look at this script and say, "Bull gags on the wall, scuba diving, and leather, Jean-Claude Van Damme"? I feel this.
Offense gets the glory.
But defense wins the game.
What a terrible basketball pun. But don't worry, folks. There's a lot more where that came from.
Gentlemen, this is Delta One. Forget you've ever seen him.
Well, it is Jean-Claude Van Damme. Forgetting him is pretty easy.
He has information that Stavros will be surfacing tomorrow afternoon. Somewhere around here.
So they look at their board game to figure out how to take out Rourke, and they get ready to make the hit. But Van Damme sees Rourke with his son and finds that he just can't pull the trigger with him watching, which gives Rourke plenty of time to fire back. So both Van Damme's men and Rourke's men start firing at each other. And no, your computer is not having trouble loading, that's actually how they shot it. I guess the dirty DVD style of editing was very popular back then. So it turns out Rourke's kid gets shot, and naturally, this really pisses him off. Really? He's firing while on one of the rides? You son of a wee! You shot my son, wee! I will have my revenge, woohoo! He goes inside a hospital and shoots all the staff so he can properly monologue in peace.
His favorite thing in the world used to be when he'd go riding his little pony on the weekends.
Little horse gonna miss my boy.
Can you speak a little louder? I can't hear your pretentiousness when you whisper.
My little boy was 6 years old, mister.
But Rourke puts a grenade in the baby's bed, giving new meaning to the term baby boomer. Oh geez, I'm sorry if you weren't dead. Poor baby. He's gonna go through his entire life with an incredible fear of fire and Belgians. So Van Damme wakes up on an island of all places, where a voice tells him what's going on.
Quinn, Jack Paul. Born 1959. Agent Quinn achieved clean opportunity to acquire Alpha, but Target Alpha escaped. You went soft. Soft agents are a liability, but because of your skills, you've been assigned to the colony.
No! Did I forget to mention you're a horrible actor?
You're dead already. At least that's what your wife and the rest of the world have been told. Ah, bad?
Wow, he ducked from himself, throwing a TV away from himself? No wonder he's a liability.
Alex Goldsmith.
The taxman. You were killed 6 years ago.
God! It's been 6 years already?
So this is Goldsmith, played by Peter Freeman.
Belloc.
It turns out this is a secret place where both agents and terrorists work together to solve global problems, and everyone in the world thinks they're dead.
We're too valuable to kill and too dangerous to set free. Welcome to the colony.
Okay. Where do I begin to talk about this mountain of not making sense? First of all, why are agents and terrorists working together? Did they just totally forget about the fact that they have different goals? Second, most of these people were out of control killers. Van Damme didn't shoot a guy. The exact opposite of why everyone else is there. And wasn't he retired anyway? So how does that make him a danger? Third, they keep them doing the jobs that they were already doing before. So why don't they just keep them doing the jobs they were already doing before? The only difference is now they're doing their spy work inside. Well, why didn't you just downgrade them to begin with? Just give them a desk job, that's easy enough. Why do you have to create an island with lasers in the water? Why do you have to tell everybody they're dead? Why the hell would anybody follow this crazy plan? Is this guy just really good at convincing people?
Too bad the Jovitos don't know you the way I do, Belloc.
Indeed, Indiana, indeed! So Van Damme just sort of goes along with it, never saying, you bastards, give me back my wife or anything. He just sort of goes with the flow, along with all the terrorists too. Dying for your god? Fuck that shit, they got a pool! But suddenly Van Damme sees a marking that indicates that his wife may be in danger. Of course, he could let this incredible, unstoppable team of power take care of the situation, but nope. He decides not to tell anyone at all, and spends most of his time planning his escape, rescuing her for himself. Which of course would take days and days to set into motion, but hey, at least he's not letting the other guys get it done faster. We of course get those scenes that we get in every Van Damme movie where he starts bending like Stretch Armstrong. And of course, he plans his way out. By the way, have you noticed something missing from this movie? That is friggin' Rodman! Even the poster shows him in the foreground like he's the main star, and yet we're 43 minutes in and maybe 5 of those minutes had Rodman in it. What, did he have a game to play? Maybe he got drunk again on Celebrity Apprentice, I don't know. But it turns out those lasers in the water do go off at one point, and that's when the plane flies by to drop off supplies. Which makes you wonder why they didn't just land and physically hand them the supplies to begin with. But who am I to say how to run a crazy island? I guess someone happened to be scuba diving at the same time, and he tries to stop him. Newsflash, dimwit. A plastic bag isn't gonna do much underwater. He already can't breathe! But Van Damme escapes and catches a ride on the plane that takes back the other cargo. He kicks their asses and gets them to fly him back to Antwerp, where finally we get to see Slushy Head again. Just a mere 47 minutes in. Yeah, I liked being left with the Belgian Waffle House never understanding what the hell he says.
You bring cash? I'll pay you later. Oops, I just declared a 7-day cool-off here. Dead man don't get credit.
I'll give you 3 CIA bank account numbers.
Well, that's nice, but we don't have much use for a bank account number.
I look at you, I see nothing but trouble. I kind of like trouble.
So they jump out of a plane and get ready to land. Where are their parachutes, you're wondering? Oh, they have something even better than that. They land in a giant basketball. I am dead serious, a giant basketball.
Now that's what I call hang time.
And not only that, it doesn't bounce, and it seems incredibly easy to break apart. So, yeah, their bones will pretty much be liquid jello by this point. But in the movie world, it's a delightful little send-up. Two-pointer! He goes to his house where he thinks his newborn child is, but it turns out the bad guys have replaced the baby with a bomb. A bombie. Oh, yeah. I love how the flame totally engulfs him several feet away from the window, and yet somehow he jumps out untouched. He must have bought a lot of sunscreen with the massive amount of money he has in his bank account. So he fights off the bad guys and makes it to a safe place with Rodman, who finds a letter and steals it away from Van Damme.
Well, it's not a bomb. Maybe it's the access codes. I would love to get paid.
Those bank accounts are fronts.
Grandma Moses, it's bank account! Pronounce your O's!
What the hell is this?
A sonogram of my son.
We find that Rourke befriends Van Damme's wife without anybody recognizing who he is, and he helps take care of her during her pregnancy.
Stavros has my boy. You go back to Antwerp. I'll get you money. I pay my debts.
You pay your tits?
I pay my debts.
Next you'll be telling me I am the law!
Why you didn't tell me this before?
What do you care? You always play defense, right?
It's time to get off the bench. The best defense is a strong offense.
Well, he has been out of this movie for a bit. I guess he had to make up for it with 3 basketball puns in a row.
Taking you to the hospital, you'll be safer there.
So Van Damme dresses up like a John Lennon Pauly Shore pancake and tries to sneak up on Rourke.
Quinn, no, that's what he wants!
Catherine! No!
I'm bigger than Jesus!
But Rourke has backup and they have themselves another little shootout.
He's up! He's in! I'll have to call it a 5-pointer.
Yes! You played basketball! Please shut up! Rourke escapes and makes his way to the pregnant wife. While she's giving birth to her son, Rodman helps Van Damme find her through, get this, cyber monks. No, I'm serious. That's what they call them.
These monks have been collecting information on Rome for 500 years. Cyber monks.
Holy shit! Why couldn't the movie be about these guys? Just their 2-minute cameo is a million times better than anything else we've seen. Ha, if you're not gonna do it, somebody else has to. We need to see cyber monks.
Your move, creep.
So they find out where the wife is, but it turns out she already gave birth and Rourke has stolen the baby.
You go get your boy. I'll take care of her.
Thank you.
You owe me.
So Van Damme goes to a coliseum where Rourke has really gone all out in preparing a climax. He put mines in the ground, decorated them with crosses, the baby's in the middle, he took his shirt off. He even threw in a fucking tiger for all this! It's like Gladiator meets Grand Theft Auto. You gotta give him an A for creativity. Yeah, way to look after my wife, liar. So Rodman gets the baby out, who surprisingly doesn't cry despite the fact that he's on a motorcycle and right next to a tiger. But of course, Van Damme can't leave the score unfinished.
Let's just get the hell out of here. This place is gonna blow. You take care of my son. I'll take care of Stavros.
Wouldn't it make more sense if Rodman took care of the bad guy and you lived happily ever after with your loving family? Trust me, your ego is big enough to survive if you don't throw the finishing punch. So Van Damme and Rourke have a martial arts fight, stepping carefully not to hit any of the mines. But again, Rodman doesn't do what he said he would do. He comes back to help Van Damme, just leaving the baby on the fucking ground. It's just a tiger-infested, heavily explosive coliseum of death. It's just like a Chuck E. Cheese. But thankfully, Balak comes to save the baby, and we see Rourke has messed up and stepped on one of the mines. Once he takes his foot off, he goes up in smoke. Oh my god. We have Mickey Rourke on a mine, in the middle of a minefield, with a ferocious tiger, in a coliseum with Jean-Claude Van Damme, Dennis Rodman, Balak, and a baby in a basket. If this does not deliver the most fucking epic imagery I have ever seen in my entire life, I have lost all hope in mankind. Let's see what happens. Talk about the entire scene, but oh my fucking god! First of all, look at Mickey Rourke's face. He just knows that if he's gonna go out, he has to go out with a fucking tiger eating him while he's being blown up alive. Clearly, there's no other option.
Well, I may as well give them what they want.
Second, we have a whole coliseum going up in flames, and yet they still manage to get their product placements in there. Hell, they're literally throwing them at us. Third, with all these explosions and all this fire, it's hiding behind a Coke machine that saves the day. That's a new one. Okay, I'm not usually aware when I'm starting an internet meme, but by God, this has to be an internet meme. It is far too good. Okay, there was jumping the shark, nuking the fridge. Ladies and gentlemen, this is frying the Coke. This is the ultimate in awesomely and laughably implausible. We might as well just end it here, folks. I'm not gonna top that. I mean, the movie pretty much does anyway. Balak says they're cool and they just go off their separate ways. He doesn't meet up with his wife or anything. But honestly, who wants to see that after this scene? I mean, just go out on that high note. So yeah, the rest of the movie is dumb and laughably silly, but it was totally worth it just for that moment. I want that image framed and put on my wall, it's that awesome. We mere mortals wish we could go out in such a cool way. So, if you want a stupid movie but with the mother of all endings, check this flick out. It's totally worth it just for that 1 minute of ecstasy. I'm the Nostalgia Critic, guy. Remember it? I'm sure as hell not gonna fucking forget it.
Mary on the floor.
She's looking freak, but she's much more. Beige chic, fun chic. She's the head of state patrol.
Head to toe.
My shade of peach.
That's the secret she likes to keep.
She likes the boys, think they're cool.
But between her legs are the family jewels.
Bank account numbers.